We move over to this day newspaper. It is leading Yakubu, result of polling unit with record of violence will not be counted. And that's on page 8 of the newspaper. This is from Mahmoud Yakubu.
The same person again. Same similar things that he said in the 2023 general election that he's trying to say again. Good, let's give him.
Okay, now he's saying results of polling unit with record of violence will not be counted.
How sure are we
But
that?
then during the, can we flash back to the February 25th
Exactly
election? We had results counted with record of violence, right?
Excessive violence. That, okay, there are some polling units, funny, let me just say this funny thing. There are some polling units where the violence was higher than the voting.
Do you think Nigerians still have faith in electoral processes?
The gospel truth is we don't just have any other option.
Yes, we don't.
We are just like, we are optionless at the moment. We just don't have any other thing than to just give them that forceful benefit of doubt. Okay, since you said it will be like this, let's just see how it turns out. But we know deep down that if it turns out violent and they count it, we know, since we have a reference to what happened in the presidential 2023 general election, we know how much of it he talked about and how we praised INEC as an independent body and everything that what they said, uploading on iRev, on making it a live upload and all that, and the outcome, how it became. So I don't think this one he's saying is actually necessary, because we already have it at the back of our mind that if it turns out good, fine. If it doesn't, still fine, because we know how much of the vices that do come out during elections in the country. The thing is just that this 2023 recorded a high level of violences because there was a high level of turnout of voters.
Yes, people needed to.
Exactly. Those times, let's say...
we needed to wave off that frustration.
Those times in the 2019 election, there were lesser people to vote. Like, let's say in the polling units, they would have like 30, 40 people voting at that place. But this time, that same polling unit was recording 100 and 200. And you see, people came out in mass to vote with expectations and plans in their heart. Then there are some people that were sent to disrupt the election. And you know that these elections were disrupted. There were evidences here and there. They still went ahead to count that vote instead of nullifying those polling units. And now, for the coming elections, gubernatorial elections, Mahmoud Yakubu is still saying that any polling unit that has records of violence and all that would not be recorded. Now, a quick question. What level of violence would he record as violence?
Yes, that's a question to ask.
A quick question. If they come to a polling unit and slap a voter there, or let's say a canvasser, would that be recorded as violence, or until there is the bloodshed, or until there is a party inter-party fight, or just any thuggery or snatching of ballot box? That is something that he still needs to outline. Then if you say it's not, if you say it will not be recorded, what then happens to that polling unit? Would it be nullified? Would it be counted? Would the votes be splitted among themselves? Or would there be a rerun in that polling unit? These questions need answers.
Still on the newspaper, over to Imo State, Labour commences indefinite strike, and that's on page 9 of the newspaper. Bayelsa Pool, they deserve another term, says Jonathan, and that's on page 43 of the newspaper, and that's all we'll be taking on this day newspaper. I would like your thought on the Imo State issue, NLC. What do you see?
Immediately you read this headline, what came to my mind is the picture of Ajero, of how there was a POP on his neck and how he was beaten to stupor. And it's a
his right eye, was it? His action. Right eye that was almost shut down. Right?
Exactly. Now, organized labor are coming out to announce that they've declared strike in Imo State. And then from next week, Labour Congress, Nigerian Labour Congress.
Will this affect the election?
I think it will, because it will affect mobility, it will affect turnout of people. It will still affect transport system, and it will still affect other organizations that are affiliated to this Labour Congress. So them coming out now to announce that there is a strike. How long is the strike meant to hold? because in general, Nigerian Labour Congress are embarking on a general strike on the 14th. Like they said, they alleged that the police were there when those events occurred. How the man was mishandled, beaten, and even injured, disgraced publicly. A president of such great union. And then the governor hasn't made any possible steps so far. Imagine you are.
Have there been a press statement?
There haven't been anyone
from him,
except.
I know the police came out to say they had no hands.
That is a little one, because you cannot be a judge over your own case. You understand the situation now. The police was dragged into this issue. They are allegedly part of this thing. Why some person said it was thugs that did it. But since the police are suspects in this situation, you cannot come out and say just like that you are not the one that perpetrated such acts, and you just expect the general public to just pick it like that. You understand? There has to be investigations to this situation, and then if they find them guilty, those persons that perpetrated the acts must face the law, go through the right process, go through your punishment as deserved. Then on the other hand of them going on strike, if they feel like this is what will make their demands being met, fine and good. Because to me, the government are belittling the labor union.
The labor union.
Very much. The only time when I can commend actions from the labor union was during the time of Oshomole. You dare not try this. They would have embarked on the strike very long time ago. If Oshomole tells you this will be the outcome, so be it. But they tend to now take the Labour Congress as unserious. They would come today, lament. What are they lamenting today that they've not lamented for a few years back? Tell me what they've lamented. Because for the government, for the president to come out on October 1st and make promises that this is what they will do, this is what they will do. And according to the Labour, none of these promises have been met, which is a slap to their face. You better not make such promises than make it and not fulfill it. But you've not even made steps, at least to try and put it into action. It is one thing saying something, it's another thing putting it into action. If they go on strike, maybe the government would see need. They start from Imo State. And if they go on a general strike, a nationwide strike, it will affect the nooks and crannies of this nation. The business sector, the economic sector, the petroleum sector, the agricultural sector too. Because many of them are affiliated under this union. They came out to protest, which is constitutionally right. It is their right. So everybody has the right to protest peacefully. They came out without weapons, without guns, and without anything that would malign their purpose. And to what end? The main person of the union was attacked. Not just ordinary attack, open disgrace, beaten to the extent that he has to be flown abroad
like a
for
criminal
treatment. The main person. And when the people, majority of the population is against a government, it is just democracy going the wrong direction. Because the essence of the government and the essence of democracy is for the people. And if the people are against you, you tend to go confused and start going wrongly. When this thing happened, you are supposed to call him first, make amends, damage control, fix his medical bills, take him for treatment, cover up for what has happened. If you know your people and people that you are under you are wrong, make them punishable by the law. Let everybody serve their punishment according to their offense. Not keeping quiet and ignoring like it's a little union that just started which day. Okay, see things they've been telling Governor Hope Uzodinma for so long. The rights of the workers, wages and all that. Unpaid wages for people that worked for it. You know what it is to toil? You know what it is to toil and work every day, knowing that you are supposed to be paid, knowing that many of them are owing debts. Many of them, their children are in school. Many of them do not have any other job to fall back to. They do not have any plan B source of income. Just only those work, those civil work that they come for. Then how do you expect them to work effectively when they are not paid? They don't feed well. They don't. You would see a second top tier civil servant park his car and be using public transport.
They're not even talking about the pensioners.
Exactly.
Those ones have already been forgotten.
Exactly. They do not even look towards that angle. For people that worked for how many years to enjoy the fruit of their labor, at least they know they worked for it with hope of, okay, if it gets to this span of my life, I will just relax and feed at least. Remember that most of these pensions that are being paid are not used for wants. They are used for needs. To feed, to shelter, to clothes, and for their health. You still go not paying them and still claim right on it that you know you are doing wrong. So that is just it. If they know, in all I have to say is, if they know the strike would help them facilitate what they are clamoring for, so be it. Because at times the hard way is the only way. We know it will affect so many angles. I feel like they should go ahead with whatever pleases them. If they know, because I know for them to make this declaration yesterday, they must have sat and deliberated on it. Did their checks and balances and know if truly it will favor them. And it's not only wars that you know you will win, you will fight. There are some wars you just have to fight for your opponent to know that you have strength in you. Even if you lose, it will draw respect to you. So that is just it.
All right, we go on a short commercial break. When we come back, we'll be taking our last newspaper for the day, so stay tuned.
Children's Studio, we certainly can deliver the best studio experience. Our carefully designed studio space can bring your diverse creative content ideas to life. We aim to consistently serve value to our customers far and wide. Come, let Tharv Media give life to your dreams. Tharv Media, a slice of infotainment.